Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss on the topic The Ballroom, which is composed by John Berryman. So here I begin, and before that let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you have not subscribed up till now, then please do and watch the video till end and press the like button if you have liked it. So let us start the poem, The Ball Poem, which is composed by John Berryman. So now let us start the ball poem, in which I will explain line by line explanation, word meanings, title, literary devices or the poetic devices, theme and moral of the poem. So first of all, let us start with the title of the poem. In this poem, The Ball Poem, the poet is talking about the harsh realities of life. He also tells us how one should learn to be responsible and also learn to stand up against the miseries and the sorrows of life. Hence, the title of the poem is quite justified. So now let me tell you something about the poet John Berryman. John Berryman was an American poet. He is best known for the Dream Songs, which was published in the year 1969 and which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prizes for the Dream Song. He also won National Book Award. Now children, let us start with the first stanza of the poem, and the lines are: what is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there it is in the water. Now the word meaning. Merrily means cheerful. Bouncing means jumping up and down. Now the explanation of the first stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that the poet is talking about a little boy who has lost his ball. What is the boy now? So the poet is trying to understand what reaction is going to be when he has lost his ball. That is the reaction of the child, the reaction of the boy. What is he to do now? Further, the poet is trying to ask himself what the boy is going to do after he has lost his ball. I saw it go merrily bouncing. So, the poet is saying that he had seen the ball going away from the boy. The ball has been lost. The boy was playing with the ball and it was lost. The boy had the ball, but it is lost now. He is saying that he saw it merrily bouncing. What is bouncing? It means jumping up and down. A ball bounces, so when the boy was playing with the ball, it just bounced, that is, fall from his hand, merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. What is merrily? It means happily. So he saw the ball just bouncing and go off down the street, and then merrily over there it is in the water. So he is saying that the ball fell into the nearby water body, maybe a river or a small stream. So he saw the ball in the hand and suddenly it fell off from his hand and it just bounced and fell off into the nearby water body. He also wants to know how the boy is going to react and what is he going to do the next when the ball is lost. It describes the harsh realities of life which everyone has to face one day. Loss is inevitable part of the life. Now, the poetic device used in this stanza are number 1, imagery. When the poet says merrily bouncing down the street, imagery is a device where you can from picture in your mind by reading the word. Number 2, repetition. The word what is repeated. Number 3, anaphora. Use of repeated words in 2 or more lines. The line in this stanza is what is the boy? What, and merrily bouncing till merrily over. Assonance. Assonance is the repeated use of vowel O in this stanza. For example, boy, now, who, lost. So the word O is repeated. Now let us look at the second stanza. And the lines are, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I could not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. Now the word meaning. Grief means sorrow, rigid means fixed, trembling means shaking, harbor means dock or port, intrude means invader or intervene, dime means 10 cents of US, and worthless means valueless or useless. The line staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went means that the boy had the ball for a very long time. The line itself describes how the boy recalls those days when he used to play with the ball. The ball was surely linked to some sweet memories of his playing with the ball. The line, I would not intrude on him, means that the poet does not want to intrude, means intervene, so that the boy can get a chance to learn the real truth of life. He has to accept the loss. The loss here means the most important thing or the relationship. Now the explanation of the second stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that now there is no use to say, oh, there are other balls, because he feels that it is not going to be of any use by consoling the boy that he will get many other balls, because he may have many other balls, but he may be so attached to this ball that he is feeling very sad and that he has lost this ball. An ultimate grief, shaking grief, fixes the boy. So grief means sorrow. So the poet is saying that the boy is very sad because he is too attached to the ball and he has lost the ball. As he stands rigid, trembling, staring down, where rigid means fixed, trembling means shaking. So he is just standing there, fixed up at the stop where he had lost his ball. So he is completely surrounded by grief or sorrow because he has lost the ball. And so many memories may be attached with that ball. and his childhood days. So he is feeling very sad with the thought of the lost ball strikes him, or when he is looking at the ball bouncing and going to the river, and when he understands that he cannot get the ball back, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. So the boy is fixed up to the place where he has lost his ball. So he is staring there and looking at his ball that is going into the water. So when he is looking at the ball, he is just thinking about the childhood days and how he had played with the ball. All these memories create a sense of grief inside the boy. So he is grief stricken on standing there looking at the ball. I would not intrude on him. So the poet is trying to say that he is not going to go and call the boy or try to console him. He is not going to intrude on him, that is, on the boy. A dime another ball is worthless. So the poet is saying that it is very easy to tell him that I can get him another ball, and it may cost him only a dime, where dime means 10 cents in the US. Okay, it is the currency used in the US. So he is saying that it may be only a dime, and with this dime he can buy another ball, which will not bring him any sense of belongingness. He is not attached to the new ball as he was attached to the ball he was playing with all these days. So the poet is saying that, trying to console him by telling him that I will get another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. The poet is telling that the boy for the first time is sensing responsibility. So what is being responsible? Taking care of one's belongings. So here the boy understood that in life we are bound to lose many things and are supposed to be taking care of one's belongingness, that is, our things, and not lose them. So the boy is going to learn how to take care of the things, how to be responsible, so that he can keep his things safely. The line now he senses his first responsibility helps us to know that the boy has not lost anything before. The line I would not intrude on him means the poet does not want to intervene in the natural process of learning. He wants the boy to learn the meaning of loss on his own. He also does not offer him money to buy another ball because that would be worthless or useless. He wants the boy to learn the lesson of responsibility. The line, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went, means that the boy has had the ball for a very long time. When it bounced into the water, all his memories into the days of his childhood flashed in front of him. This led to a realization that those memories would not come back just like the ball. He can buy new ball and can similarly create new moments, but those that are gone would not return. Now the literary device used in this stanza are: number 1, repetition. Use of the word ball. The word ball has been repeated. Number 2, syntheton. That is, no use of conjunction in a sentence. For example, a dime another ball is worthless. Now we move towards the third stanza, and the lines are: in a world of possession, people will take balls. Ball will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Now the word meanings. Possession means ownership. External means here things with which feelings are not attached. In the world of possession means that the world is full of materialistic things. Materialistic things are those things which bring comfort and luxuries in our life. Now the explanation of the third stanza. In this stanza, the poet is talking about the world of possession. What is the world of possession, children? It is nothing but the materialistic world. What is materialistic world? The world where the people are running after the materialistic needs. They want a lot of things. When they have money, they are very happy buying and spending off many things. People take balls. Ball will be lost always. So he has the poet. So here the comparing balls to the materialistic things is materialist. The poet has personified balls to the materials of belonging of man. So he is telling that the boy one very important lesson he has learned. The poet is telling that losses are a part of life. You will buy lots of things, but at the same time, you will also be losing them, and that is in your life. But no one buys a ball back. So when you lose something, it is not that money cannot buy you everything. There are certain materials that convey that all things cannot be purchased by money. The poet says that money is external, where external means things that which feelings are not attached. When you lose something, and if you try to buy them with the money, you may not have this satisfaction of belongingness to that ball or anything which you have bought it. So the poet says that money will buy you only materialistic things and not everything. The line the world of possession means that the world is full of materialistic things. Here everything and every action is made to possess something, whether it is the possession of land, property, money, or any other thing. The poet suggests that losing a ball, which is a very small thing, would make the boy understand what it is like to lose something that one possessed. Now the poetic devices used in this stanza are: number 1, alliteration. Use of the sound of the word be. Buy a ball back, where the sound of B is repeated. Number 2, repetition. Ball word is repeated. Now we move towards the fourth stanza, and the lines are: he is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of laws, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Now the word meaning. Desperate means hopeless. As epistemology means, it is the Greek word episteme, which means knowledge. Now the explanation of the fourth stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. Why is his eyes desperate? Because he has lost his all hope of getting his ball back. He has lost the ball. He is standing there and is looking at it and is feeling hopeful and is also surrounded by grief. So now he is learning. So, what is he learning? He is learning the real truth that the life is made up of losses as well, as you have to accept these things in life and you have to stand up again. The epistemology of loss. The epistemology means the knowledge of loss. That means the boy is trying to understand what loss is and he has to know how to stand up against the loss. What is the meaning of standing up against the loss? Standing up against the loss is overcoming the loss and moving on in life, knowing what every man must one day know. So, what is that every man must one day know? Every man should know that loss is a part and parcel of life. So, it comes along with all the happiness and sorrows, and in the course of their life. So, loss is there in everyone's life. Everyone is bound to lose something or the other thing in the course of their life, and we all have to notice, stand up against the loss, and carry on our lives forward. So, this is the most important lesson that a man has to learn, and the boy has also to learn because he has lost his ball and he has to move on. The poet says that the boy is learning from the loss of the ball, means that the boy will learn the real truth of life. He will learn how to move on in life despite of incurring heavy losses. Everyone experiences this in their life when they lose either something or someone. These harsh realities that lost things never come back. People strong enough to live their life by accepting this truth of life. He is experiencing grief and is learning to grow up in this world of possession. He learns that there are so many things in life that are lost and cannot be brought back. He is sensing his first responsibility as he has lost the ball. The boy will learn how to stand up and leave the losses behind, as he would have understood the true meaning and the nature of loss. He learns there are so many things in life that are to be lost and cannot be brought back. It is useless to feel sorrow for it. Now, children, I'll tell you about the theme of the poem. The theme of the poem is that life is precious and should not be wasted. Life has to be lived, and life can be lived purposefully and fruitfully only when we stand up and come out of depression. The young boy lost his ball and was very sad. Now, the moral of the poem, the ball poem. The moral or the message that the poet wants to convey is that the importance of loss and responsibility in our life. We should not forget the importance of possession. The message of the poet to the readers of ball poem is we should move on with the life. irrespective of the loss, because we are wasting time and running behind thinking of our previous losses. So, move on in under all the circumstances. So, dear children, with these words, I end my lesson. Hope this lesson will be beneficial for you in your studies. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.